All right, I am here today. My name is Bruce Green, and I'm with the Evansville Wartime Museum, and I'm here today with Ron Keller. Ron, can you tell us about your early life, where you were born, and when, and where you grew up?
Okay. I was born in Garden City, Kansas, and grew up in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Went to all the way through high school in Colorado Springs, and then went to Colorado School of Mines, and was in ROTC, and I the battalion, when I went on active duty, we went to Fort Carson, and Fort Carson, we hadn't any more than gotten to Fort Carson, and the orders came down that our battalion was going to be going to Fort Ord, California. And
what year was this when you went in? To the service?
And 1970.
Okay. And then you went to you were going to California?
Yeah, Fort Ord. And we were at Fort Ord for, oh golly, can you pause that just a second? I was at Fort Ord for 3.5 years, and then that Fort Ord was a training base for people going over to Vietnam, and so we got to Fort Ord, and Fort Ord is right on Monterey Bay. Beautiful place. Our quarters were on a hill overlooking Monterey Bay. Couldn't have had a nicer place. It was, I was there for 3.5 years, and got out of the Army, and went to the School of Mines. And
Was that in Montana?
no, in Colorado.
In Colorado. Okay.
I was studying metallurgy, and they evidently needed me for, and I was in ROTC, and I went in on a degree waiver program, and went to Fort Carson. I gave the Army an extra year to go back to Fort Carson, which I grew up in Colorado Springs.
Mm-hmm.
And we hadn't any more than gotten to Fort Carson when they transferred the battalion to Fort Ord. I think that may be a repeat. But we had it's a beautiful thing. It's right there by Pebble Beach.
Yeah.
It's a sad place to be in the Army, and we were there for
Your Now your 3.5 years at Fort Ord, what was your job there?
I was in the Corps of Engineers.
Okay.
And we were tearing down old barracks and clearing things to building fences and stuff like that to keep things that the Corps of Engineers use, like chain link fence, things like that. And after I've been there for the 3.5 years, I got out of the Army and got a job in San Francisco. It was right in downtown San Francisco. I was in a port construction company then. I was still slightly affiliated with the military, but not on an everyday basis. Fort Ord or Fort this stop at this a port construction company, and we worked on things that needed to be done around San Francisco Bay, and after that, I know one thing we had to tear this pier down, and to get there and beat the tide, we had to get there about 5 o'clock in the morning. There was about 8 of us, and we jumped in the water, and it was colder than the Dickens. And we were waiting around, putting cables around the bottom. They had torn down this pier, and there were just pieces of it sticking up above the water. And so I got there was 4 or 5 of us that were. And we also had these not really a tugboat, but just almost like a landing craft. We hooked the cable around the piece of the pier that was sticking above the water, and they had tremendous pulling power with the propeller and everything, and so we pull once, pull twice, and usually twice would do it, but not the third time would break it off. We put it up on the beach and go get another one until the tide came in, and it was impossible to work. And then a friend of mine from the plant that I was working at was in San Francisco too. He was working for a until I can think of what he worked in a lead smelter for American Smelting and Refining, and in Selby, California. And those are like sort of blast furnaces. You had to charge coke in, and then the raw material that they wanted to melt in, and that had to go in a certain ratio, and then it would cool in it's like a blast furnace. It would cool in the bottom of the furnace, and we would keep charging it until there was a large enough pool of metal to be able to cast what they call sows. They were, well, we cast a lot of it into ingot, so we could charge it back into the furnace and be able to come up with a correct analysis to make brass, ingot, and zinc die-cast alloy. And I did that for probably 2 years, and then I decided to get out of the Army. We moved to Eufaula, Oklahoma, and I was out of the Army, and I had completed my military, and we lived in Oklahoma for about 3 years. Then after 3 years down in Oklahoma, I got out of the Army, and I got out of the service and went to another place in Oklahoma, and they were doing melting aluminum scrap and alloying it and casting it into ingots or sows, or just blocks of metal, about so by so, and they just, we would pour aluminum discs and get the analysis of it, and we could send it to the companies that we sold to, and they would know what the analysis was. And there's a picture of me with my uniform.
Oh, yeah.
I got out of that part of the operation and went to Chicago for a month. And been still doing melting and processing metal, a ball mill and things like that, and still casting stuff into ingot and sows. And one of the people that was at that plant didn't like the way I worked. I worked harder than anybody there, but he didn't like it, and so he fired me, and two people that were the manager of the Chicago plant, and another man went down to Kentucky and started up another operation. And I was supposed to be the manager of technical services. And I was there for about 2 years, and that part of the operation was so underfunded that we had to make all the right decisions, and the management made all the wrong decisions. So I could see this thing falling out of the sky, and at that time Toyota was just getting started. So I went up and interviewed for Toyota, and I was in the lab, and that was the best job I ever had. And I was there for 17 years and retired, and here I am.
Mm. So, is there anything else you would like to tell people, maybe about, maybe if you had advice to give to young people today? Is there something you would tell them that might help them with their lives?
Well, they need to pick a job that they like, stick with it, and because going to work and hating what you do is not a good deal. You need to love what you work at, and I did. And so that's about it.
Yeah, well, that's great advice. Well, thank you very much for your time today.
That's not a problem.